In this special birthday edition episode of The Happy Hustle, I'm breaking down 36 life lessons learned for my birthday. Let's dive in to this episode of The Happy Hustle.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Kerry Jack, and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model / actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality.
36 life lessons learned from 36 years of living. That's what I'm bringing to you today. This is a birthday special tradition where I reflect backwards on things that I've learned this year and share them with you to hopefully help you put the happy in your hustle. What's up, y'all? My name is Kerry Jack. I am a lifestyle entrepreneur. I'm author. I can say actually USA Today best-selling author of our book, The Happy Hustle, and top 1% globally ranked podcast host. But besides all that, I'm someone who really appreciates lessons that maybe have come the hard way. And I like to do a special birthday tradition where I'll reflect backwards on specifically life truths, actionable takeaways, wisdom from the year previous. And since my birthday is November 27th, yes, it is Thanksgiving, we'd like to drop an episode just reflecting on those life lessons learned. And that is this. For you, hopefully you get just one thing that you can implement into your reality to help you ultimately systematically harmonize ambition and well-being, aka happy hustle, your dream reality. So we broke it down. So there's 3 to 4 life truths for each of the 10 different areas of life. So those 10 alignments are selfless service, optimize health, unplugging digitally, loving relationships, mindful spirituality, abundance financially, personal development, passionate hobbies, impactful work, and nature connection. So that's the different topics that we'll be covering today. Now, let's just kick things off with selfless service, okay? And this one is probably one of my favorites of the 10 different areas of life to focus on. And the lesson number 1 that I want to share with you is giving to others is often the best gift to yourself. And I know it's a little counterintuitive, but it's the damn truth. Lesson number 2 is when you aren't selflessly serving, something will always feel missing. And maybe if you're feeling like something's missing, check yourself and see if giving to others is potentially the remedy. Lesson number 3, use the gift framework. Give insight, finances, and time weekly. That's the difference. You got to do it regularly. Giving is like a muscle. You got to exercise it. Okay. So those are the 3 lessons learned. And again, every time I give, whether it's donating, mentoring, volunteering, I just feel more fulfilled. And science backs this up. People who volunteer weekly report the same happiness bump as making an extra $1,000 a month. Wild. I know, right? So if you want a little actionable takeaway here, it's service is the shortcut to fulfillment. So there you have it. All right, keeping on with optimized health. This is lesson number 4. The older I get, the more I feel my old questionable decisions, aka my injuries. And maybe you feel the same. But I definitely realized, damn, my neck is stiff. Oh, I broke my ankle back in the day. I feel that. I actually have to get ankle surgery in 2 weeks. My knee, my elbow. And so it's just a little lesson to take care of yourself and make smart choices, especially with your body and your health. Lesson number 5, know your numbers. Labs, HRV, hormones, glucose, all the data. Like, make data-driven decisions. Don't just wing it like, oh, your jacked friend takes creatine. Well, does that mean you should take creatine? Just, I guess creatine's a bad example because everyone probably should take creatine. But the point is, you should look at your numbers and make data-driven decisions. And don't just know your numbers in your business, know your numbers in your health. Lesson number 6, without health, everything else is meaningless. So learn from experts who have put in the 10,000 hours in their craft. Specifically, I just finished a mastermind with my buddy Ben Greenfield. Guy is an absolute encyclopedia of health and fitness knowledge. And I'll listen to him because that's someone who has put in the work. And you got to think about this too. You could be hustling so hard, making money and all the things for your business, but as soon as you get sick, nothing else matters. You know that. So you got to prioritize it and learn from experts so that way you don't lose your health. Okay, little story here, but after a deep dive set of labs this year, I actually realized some things about just myself and my current status that I'm going to be making compound shifts over the next couple months in order to, counteract some of the things that I have. Nothing crazy, but, a little high cholesterol here, a little low hormones there. So some of the things that, I feel great, but ultimately my data didn't reflect. So there was some nuanced stuff that now I'm going to be compounding as I get older. That's just part of aging. You got to make shifts based on your data. Takeaway here, test, don't guess. Your future self will thank you. Okay. Now, unplugged digitally is alignment number 3. And lesson number 7 for that one is as technology advances, digitally detoxing becomes more and more essential. So important. Lesson number 8, spend more time with God-made things and less time with man-made things. That was from my buddy Ryan Levesque, and that hit me to my core. I was like, damn, that's good. Let me say it again. Spend more time with God-made things and less time with man-made things. Shout out to you, Ryan. Lesson number 9, phone addiction is real. It is. Use your devices, but don't let them use you. Lesson number 10, leverage AI to enhance your critical thinking, not replace it. That one is going to be more and more important as AI infiltrates our everyday reality. So a little story here, when I leave my phone behind and hit the mountains with my family or when with myself, I just feel the most alive. And it's because I'm not tethered to this device. And I don't know about you, getting caught in the doom scroll, I just feel shitty about myself. So you'll feel better about yourself too, the less time you spend on your devices, and you'll physically feel better just because you won't be getting beamed with electromagnetic fields, toxic blue light, and getting these dopamine dumps constantly. So the actual takeaway here is your attention is your most valuable resource. Okay. Number 4, alignment, which is loving relationships. And lesson number 11 here is marriage equals the greatest personal development program ever, in my opinion. Man, I tell you what, my marriage has had to have me grow in more ways than I can tell you, but it is definitely a beautiful journey at that. Lesson number 12, fatherhood unlocks the peak emotional state of human bliss. I can't tell you how true that is. I've never felt human bliss until I became a father at this level. Like, it is just on a whole different playing field. Lesson number 13, nothing matters more than the love of those closest to you. So all the things that you deem important, if you don't have love in your life, what's it all for? And then lesson number 14, this is part of our Happy Hustle ethos, and I like to share it every year because it just is a good reminder, and that is, if you want a 10, you got to be a 10. And that's the damn truth. And if you're not getting a 10 right now from your partner, well, maybe you're not showing up as a 10 either. And this is hard truth that I always have to swallow for myself too. Little story here. Every time I hold Kaizen, my son, and now I have a future daughter on the way, it reminds me this right here, this interaction is really the point of life, the meaning behind all of the mess and the message. So I don't know, all my parents out there listening, you probably can relate. A little actionable takeaway here is prioritize your people like your life depends on it, and like your happiness depends on it, because it largely does. All right, mindful spirituality, which is the 5th alignment, and we're going to be diving into lesson 15, which is be a conduit for God's message. Just let God speak through you. Lesson number 16, read the Bible and seek truth for yourself. This year, I've actually picked up the Bible and read it more and more, And I've struggled in the past to do that, but this year I've been much better. And I'm seeking truth for myself, not just hearing it from a pastor or other people who practice faith or religion, but just for myself. And really, if you want a good podcast on this, specifically for Christianity, my buddy Rory Vaden has a podcast, The 7 Intelligent Questions Every Skeptic of Jesus of Nazareth Should Ask. And it's been helpful for me. All right, lesson number 17. People with faith are statistically happier, so why not give it a go? It seems like, most people who are really believing in a higher power are more joyous. So that's like a good enough reason to at least give it a try, in my opinion. And then lesson number 18, full surrender brings peace and understanding. And that means like full surrender to a higher power, to God, to something bigger than yourself, and just listening more. That is a way to get peace and understanding like you haven't experienced it. A little story here. This year, my spiritual walk deepened big time, and the peace I've felt also was directly correlated. So just something to think about for you. Maybe you're called to faith and deepening your bond. So give it a go. Takeaway, don't outsource your faith journey. Walk it yourself. And that was big for me. Just like reading the scripture and actually learning from, the written word that I haven't previously done, and it's been powerful. All right. Abundance financially. Here we go. Alignment 6. And this is lesson 19. Budget creates freedom. Boundaries equal peace. So with your finances, you have to have a budget, and you got to adhere to them, because then it'll create peace in your life. Lesson 20. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. That is a big one. I know it's a cliche kind of statement out there in the business world, but the more I realize I want to operationalize my business efficiency for margin, not revenue. I want more margin out of the things I do. I don't care as much about the top line. I care about what I actually get to keep, and so should you. Lesson 21, be frugal with liabilities and abundant with assets. And that was a little, statement I created on my own. And, sometimes I can be pretty frugal. As my wife will say, I'm Jewish. My mom is technically Jewish, so there you go. My dad is technically Catholic, or at least they were raised, so I was a religious mutt growing up. But I've been very frugal. I know it's not a PC joke out there, but the truth is, I am very intentional with my spending oftentimes. But you need to be abundant with assets, like income generating things that can help you create wealth. You have to invest in those things. Lesson 22, automate your investing, set it and forget it. That is one of the best things I've done, is just have money pull every single week for my Bitcoin purchases, or for my, life insurance, or my stocks and bonds portfolio, or my business, or myself. Whatever I do, I like to automate it. I automate my giving too, financially. I'll give, just every single month X amount per cause that I believe in. And, when you set it and forget it, it just takes a lot of stress off you. A little story here is, once I automated my investments, money stopped being so stressful. It's just one decision that I don't have to think about. And now it just happens on autopilot, right? You said it once, and then you don't have to think about it again, unless you want to increase the level that you're extracting on your recurring investments. And that's cool too. Then you think about it every time you want to up it. All right, little actionable takeaway here. Systems create peace, and wealth rewards consistency. Great book on this, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's a must read if you haven't. What is up, fam? I want to share with you something that I'm super stoked about, and that is my Neurable AI headphones. These things are bad to the bone. Probably the best headphones I've ever owned. They have these EEG tracking brain sensors that help me boost performance and avoid burnout, because they tell me when I need a brain break. They also have amazing sound. You can take calls, they have noise cancellation, all the things that headphones deliver. Neurable.ai and Master and Dynamic have created in these MW75 Neuros, and you get the hookup. That is the best part. You can go to Neurable.ai and use code HAPPY to save $100 off your pair. Badass Neurable.ai headphones. So check them out. One of the best things that I've ever done for my business is invest in my brand. Specifically, that means investing in my graphic design, my logo design, my company website, company swag. All things brand are imperative. Heck, you can catch me rocking something Happy Hustle branded pretty much every single day of the week. And I'm super excited about pairing up with my friends at 99 Designs by Vista because they can help you optimize your brand too. And right now they're running $25 off your first design contest if you go to 99designs.com/happy. But not only do you get 25 bucks off, when you do that and you shoot over an email to my team, Carrie at the Happy Hustle, you can be entered to win one of these amazing swag boxes, which will have a lot of fun and super cool swag from the Happy Hustle. And fun fact too, this swag box was designed and created by 99 Designs. This box is a great representation of my brand. So when you get a package from us, it comes in a Happy Hustle branded box with all different types of websites, custom quotes, shout outs for the podcast, 10 alignments lists. It has a personal message from myself on the inside of the box that shares a little bit about our mission. It also shares the definition of the Happy Hustle, aka the systematic harmonization of ambition and well-being, ensuring life balance without the burnout. So if you're interested in optimizing your brand, you got to check out 99designs.com/happy. Save yourself 25 bucks on the design contest. Send over your email receipt to Carrie at the Happy Hustle and be entered to win a new swag box. We're picking a winner every single week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Number 7 alignment, personal development. Here we go, baby. Lesson 23, choose books based on the season of life you're currently in. So whatever is important to you right now, read a book that is based upon that and extract wisdom from it and then apply it. Lesson 24, excessive knowledge can block action. Don't overthink. I see this time and time again. I like to operate on the ethos, good and done is better than perfect and never finished. And I see a lot of people who get caught in perfectionism and never really achieve what they desire because they just get stuck. Lesson 25, feed your mind daily with inspiration and education. And I like to practice our 30-30-30 system for guaranteed growth. Typically, I'm doing 30 minutes of reading in the morning, 30 minutes of listening in the afternoon, and 30 minutes of watching in the evening, all inspirational and educational content, 5 days a week. All right, a little story here is some seasons are for strategy, some seasons are for soul, and match the book to the battle that you're currently facing. Are you in a hyper growth mode with your business? Are you in a time of, rest and digest where you need to focus on your health and your well-being? Is it something for your relationship? What is it for you? Match your book or your content that you're consuming to help you solve for whatever problem you're facing right now. And then the actual takeaway is knowledge is only power when you use it. So make sure you actually implement it. Okay, passionate hobbies. Here we go, baby. All right, alignment 8. Lesson 26, prioritize fun. Joy is not optional. You gotta make sure you're doing fun shit for yourself, my friend. Do not sacrifice your fun. Lesson 27, creativity is sparked outside of the office. So get outside more and just do things that will stretch you, will get you out of your comfort zone, and you'll be shocked at the creativity that's sparked from it. Lesson 28, bow hunting is a primal experience everyone should try. This is a little nuanced, but I think hunting in general, everyone out there should experience it at least once because it'll connect you to your food source, to the land, to yourself in a whole different level. And specifically bow hunting for elk in the Montana wilderness, that's like for me, the peak primal experience. And yeah, a lot of failure that comes with it. They say only 3% of bow hunters every single year actually are successful, meaning they harvest an animal. So, the odds are stacked against you, but it's something I think everyone should experience. Story time. My best business ideas have come when I'm out there fly fishing or bow hunting or camping or horseback riding. I'm just out in the woods doing stuff, and that's when the magic happens. All right, actionable takeaway here is fun fuels fulfillment, and it actually makes you more productive, not less. And if you are looking at your calendar and you don't have much fun scheduled for yourself, check yourself, all right? And put some fun on the calendar. Here we go, home stretch. Number 9, alignment, impactful work, and lesson 29. And this was a profound one for me from Alex Hermosi, more, better, new. And he breaks it down like this. If you can do more in your business, do more. If you can't do more, do better. And if you can't do more and you can't do better, then and only then do you do something new. And a lot of times, shiny object syndrome kicks in, and us entrepreneurs, we like to just go, oh, squirrel, look at that over there. But if you are focused on what you're doing and you can do more of it, or you can do it better, then that's where you need to focus. And that's huge for me. Lesson 30, focus on work that deeply impacts others, not the minutia, not the little stuff. Stay in your unique zone of genius. Lesson 31, solve the real problem holding people back, because you get paid in accordance to the level of problem that you solve for people. And if it's a small problem, you're going to get a small payment. If it's a big problem, you're going to get a big payment. So solve the real problem and make sure it's a big one. Lesson 32, be the example of the solution. So if you are going to sell, health coaching, well, you should probably be in pretty good health. I don't think many fat, like unhealthy fitness trainers are making very good money out there, but maybe they exist. But the point is, be an example of your product or service so that people can, really follow you and see the result from your own actions. And one other example here, I see this with like social media experts. Like the expert doesn't have a big following, and I'm like, okay, well, if you were that much of an expert, wouldn't you do it for yourself? I don't know. There's a bunch of those type of hypocrisies out there in the land of the furus, the fake gurus, but I digress. All right, little story here. When I shifted from content creation to soul transformation, everything changed. And that's really the lens. How can I help people transform and put the happy in their hustle? Like, not just create content that gets attention. That's cool. But how can I do shit that's meaningful, that actually makes a difference? Actionable takeaway here is impact comes from solving pain at its root. So you got to go a mile deep in an inch wide. Don't go a mile wide in an inch deep. A lot of people do that. I used to do that. You got to focus, go a mile deep, and really solve the root cause of people's pain. All right, here we go. Final alignment. Number 10, nature connection. And lesson 33 is just get outside more. Guaranteed joy will increase every time you do it. And that is, I guess, let me caveat this, not guaranteed, because if it's like a damn tornado outside, you're probably not going to increase your joy by being out there. So let me just check myself on that one. But most of the time, if you're outside, your joy will increase. Lesson 34, support at least one environmental cause you believe in every single month. Like, really just put some time or effort or attention or insight or finances, whatever it is, towards a cause that you believe in that supports our environment. I just started donating to Jungle Keepers a couple months ago, and it's a cool cause, saving the Amazon. I like to donate to the Sea Shepherd that's fighting illegal fishing. I'll donate 1% of our gross revenue every year. I got to make sure I get it right, for 1% for the planet. So we donate monthly to that cause, and then we'll have a balance at the end of the year that I'll sure up on. And then lesson 35, happy hustle time in nature with those you love. That is the medicine. I'm telling you, if you're feeling a little sick, get the medicine. Get outside with those you love in nature. And final lesson for this birthday special edition episode, and that is the more time you spend in nature, the more grounded and grateful you often become. So get yourself outside in nature more and more. And again, a little story here is some of my most profound life moments have happened around the campfire in the Montana mountains where just things just click. So bonus points if you get around a campfire more. All right, actionable takeaway: nature resets your nervous system and reconnects you to what matters most. So get yourself out there. I'm telling you, you will appreciate it, and it'll help you put the happy in your hustle more. So there you have it. Those are the 36 life lessons learned from 36 trips around the sun. And I hope you got at least some value from one of these that you can implement and hopefully enriches your reality in some capacity. I'm just so grateful for you, again, watching and listening. I do like to do a special birthday gift to all the people out there who follow the journey. If you go to @CarrieJack, my Instagram, we give away typically 20-minute happy hustle huddles on my birthday. So that's a time where you can connect with me. There's no scammy sales, BS bullshit. It's literally me just helping you as much as I can. And time is my most precious commodity, so I like to give the gift of it on my birthday. So if you want some of that, check our Instagram and you can, see how you can apply to be one of the first 20 people. Regardless, thank you so damn much for watching and listening. I freaking love you and appreciate you, and keep on happy hustling. That's it, y'all. I'm out. Peace and love.